Hello Highlanders! In this video, we will be discussing the financial aid verification process. We will share the common types of documents that we request, show you how to submit them, and discuss your next steps. You will be able to get the same information and additional resources on our verification webpage. So don't worry too much about taking notes because you'll be able to find the information on our page. Let's go ahead and get started. What is verification? Students typically receive their official financial aid offers over the summer. However, a student's offer may be delayed if they are selected for verification. Verification is a review process where we are confirming that the demographic and financial information you submitted on your FAFSA or CADA is accurate. We do this by asking you to submit additional information or documentation. As a reminder, the documents we'd request would be from 2 years ago, the same year that you reported on your FAFSA or CADA. Why was I selected? Every year, the U.S. Department of Education selects a portion of students to go through this verification process. The state of California may also select CADA students for verification. And even our financial aid office can select students if needed. Please don't panic if you are selected for verification. This is a totally normal process. It could be that you were chosen at random, or it could be that you were selected because of some inconsistencies found in your financial aid application. Or maybe information was missing. Focus on getting your documents ready and submitting them quickly. How do I know if I was selected? When you submit your financial aid application, the confirmation page may have a comment that you were selected for verification or that additional information is needed. For example, if you are a FAFSA filer, you can check this on the FAFSA submission summary. You can always go back to a previously submitted FAFSA or CADA application to view if you are selected for verification. We will also notify you by UCR email that you have documents or additional information to submit. We would ask you to check your financial aid portal on our web. Here, you will be directed to the Financial Aid Student Forms portal, where you will see the exact information or documents needed from you. What will I need to submit? The email we send you will give you instructions to log into our web to see your missing documents. Under the unsatisfied requirements, you will see a link to Student Forms. This portal is exclusively for financial aid documents. If it is the first time that you are required to submit additional documents, then you will need to make an account. FAFSA filers will add in their Social Security number this one time only, but California DREAM Act application filers will need to add their DREAM ID. The DREAM ID number is emailed to you by the California Student Aid Commission after you submit your application. Plug in your information, and then we will be able to see what is needed. These requirements will be called tasks. Here you will see the forms we will need you to fill out, or you will see the documents we need you to upload. Each student's requirements may be different according to the results of their financial aid application. Please make sure to submit the documents that are showing up as tasks for you. Some documents will be forms that you will fill out within the portal, and others will be documents that you and/or your family has that will need to be uploaded. You will also be able to electronically sign documents here, but you could also opt out, print the form, and provide wet signatures instead. This is true for you and your parent. This portal will also send you email reminders and text messages if you sign up for them. It will let you know if a document was rejected and needs to be resubmitted, or if all documents are reviewed. Overall, it will help you track the progress of those documents. Traditional verification. In this next part of our video, we will discuss the most common types of documents we will need to confirm your financial or demographic information. For the traditional verification process, you will be asked to complete a dependent or independent verification form. You will be asked to submit the one according to your dependency status as determined by your FAFSA or CADA. The verification form will ask you to answer questions about your family size, reporting who is in your household. You may include anyone who lives in your parents' household who also receives more than 50% of their support from your parents. For example, siblings or maybe even a grandparent. If you are an independent student, then you will be asked to report your family size. You can include other family members if they will be receiving more than 50% of their support from you. For example, you as the student may have a dependent child or children. You will want to submit the confirmation of eligibility for students with children form so that we can confirm that you have qualifying dependents. The document serves as an official certification of a student's parenting status. It generally collects student identification, basic student details including your name and student ID number, dependent information, names, dates of birth, birth certificate and relationship status of the student's children who are under 18, financial support certification, a formal confirmation or certification that the student actually provides more than half of the dependents' financial care and housing. This will help unlock some additional benefits such as priority registration and increased student budgets to maximize your financial aid. Learn more about this by reviewing this site. The link will be in the description below. Next, you will be asked questions about whether you worked or filed taxes. Remember, you're answering questions from 2 years ago. We'd need your contributors' information as well, such as your parents or spouse. Depending on how you answered the form, the tax documents needed will be based on whether you and/or your parents or you and/or your spouse, if applicable, earned income and filed taxes 2 years ago. For those of you who worked but didn't earn enough to file taxes, we would typically need a W-2. This is what a W-2 looks like. We would need to confirm the amount of income you earned. If you earned a dollar amount that is above the IRS threshold, then you will be asked to file taxes. If you earned income and filed taxes, then we would ask for either a signed federal tax return, also known as the 1040, or you may be asked to submit an IRS tax transcript. If you are asked to submit a tax return, this is what it could look like. You will want to make sure to submit the 1040 form plus all schedules. A common mistake is that not all pages are submitted. Make sure to check the top left-hand side of the forms to check the names of the forms. Again, we would need the 1040, which is usually 2 pages, and all schedules. Usually there is a schedule 1, 2, and 3 if they were filed. We do not need your state tax return. We also need the tax return to be signed with a wet signature, not typed. If you filed your own tax return, we would want you to sign the tax return that you are submitting to us. A common mistake is that an unsigned tax return is submitted and we need to reject them and ask for a signed copy. If you went to a tax preparer, then we would need the tax preparer's name, signature, it's okay if it's typed here, date, and preparer tax ID number to be listed in order for it to be validated. The tax return transcript may be required in lieu of the tax return. The tax transcript is a document that you would have to request directly from the IRS. It is free to receive. You just need to make an account with the IRS and download one. If you cannot make an account, you can request for one to be mailed to you. These can take up to 2 weeks to receive from the IRS to the address they have on file for you. Your parents would also be asked to submit tax returns or a tax transcript if they earned income and filed taxes. If you are a married student, then your spouse would also be asked to submit tax documents if you did not file together. Other financial documents. As the verification process continues, you may be asked to provide additional documents and/or information. We may need further clarification based on how you answered the forms. This might include filling out another form within the portal. We may need parent asset forms, perhaps a pension rollover form, parent non-filer documentation of income form, tax filing requirement clarification forms, and potentially other forms. You would be notified of these additional requests via the Financial Aid Student Forms portal. Identity verification. Another common form of verification is called identity verification. This can be combined with the verification we just talked about, or it can be by itself. This type of verification was created by the U.S. Department of Education to help prevent fraud. Students will need to submit a valid, unexpired, government-issued photo ID, such as a U.S. passport, driver's license, or other state-issued ID. If you are presenting your passport, it does have to be signed by you in order for it to be valid. We cannot accept a UCR student ID nor a military ID, as they are prohibited from being photocopied. You can complete this by visiting the Highlander One-Stop Shop in person, contacting us to schedule a virtual appointment, or by downloading the form from the portal and getting it notarized. U.S. citizenship and eligible non-citizen verification for FAFSA filers only. If you submitted a FAFSA, you may be asked to submit documentation to verify your citizenship or your eligible non-citizen status. The U.S. Department of Education automatically runs a digital check behind the scenes. Your information is cross-referenced with the Social Security Administration and the Department of Homeland Security to confirm your eligibility status. This is because all students who submit FAFSAs must be a U.S. citizen or national, a citizen of the freely associated states, a lawful permanent resident, or other eligible non-citizen to be potentially eligible for federal student aid. In the context of financial aid, these statuses determine how your eligibility is reviewed. U.S. citizen. A person born in the United States, born abroad to at least one U.S. citizen parent, or who obtained citizenship through the naturalization process. Citizens hold full civil rights and are permanent members of the U.S. political community. Eligible non-citizen. An individual who is not a U.S. citizen but is legally permitted to reside and work in the United States on a permanent or long-term basis. This category includes lawful permanent residents, refugees, asylees, and individuals granted parole for at least 1 year. Please note that this is only for FAFSA filers. If you submitted a California DREAM Act application, you wouldn't be asked for this type of verification. This type of verification is necessary if your FAFSA gets processed and doesn't exactly match with the Social Security Administration or the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services in the Department of Homeland Security. You would then be asked to submit the following types of documents in order to resolve the issue. You would only need to submit one valid document based on your citizenship or immigration status. For U.S. citizens or nationals, we would usually request documents such as a U.S. birth certificate, U.S. passport, or certificate of naturalization. For U.S. permanent residents, we would request one of the following: Form I-551, or a resident alien card, also commonly known as a green card, or a departure record, Form I-94A, or arrival departure record, Form I-94, with the endorsement temporary I-551 or processed for I-551. There would be other types of documents that we would collect based on a few other approved immigration statuses. Your portal would tell you the exact type of documents we can accept. Please note that we cannot accept certain documents like a Social Security card for work authorization only. Other circumstances. In this section, we are going to talk about unusual circumstances, unaccompanied homelessness, the orphan, ward of the court, foster care question, and the legal guardianship or emancipated minor question. Students who answered yes to any of these related questions on their financial aid application will be asked for specific documents to complete the review process. How can I make the verification process easier for me? Verification can sound like a lot of work, but take it step by step and hopefully it is manageable. There is not a way to opt out of submitting documents if you still want to be considered for financial aid. But we hope that you are finding this video helpful as you learn about what is needed. One of the best things you can do is tackle this request right away. Submitting documents late will result in a delayed financial aid offer. During the summer, we are very busy with processing and can take about 4 weeks to review your documents. Sometimes it can take longer. As a reminder, make sure to submit all your required documents. For example, all pages of the tax return transcript or signed tax returns, the 1040 form, with all appropriate schedules. Make sure you have the correct year. The FAFSA and CADA will always request financial information from 2 years back. For example, in the 2026-27 academic year, you are reporting information for the year 2024. If you are submitting IDs and passports, check the expiration date to make sure that the ID is still valid. And if you are confused about what you need to do and what you need to submit, you can always click on the question mark button within the task. You can also always contact us for help if you need to better understand your requirements. Next steps. Once all of your documents are submitted, the Financial Aid Office will start reviewing your documents. If the documents are incomplete, for example, missing signatures, questions left blank, etc., you will be notified to resubmit the documents. We would leave you a comment in the portal and an email will be sent to you by the system. It will inform you that you need to resubmit some items. Once all the documents are complete, the Financial Aid Office will review the information and compare it with the information reported on the FAFSA or CADA. This can take up to 4 weeks depending on the volume of all student paperwork being submitted. If the review of information raises additional questions for which clarification is needed, additional documents may be required. Once verification is complete, you will receive an email. The next step would be to wait for your official financial aid offer to be prepared. Follow up to changes on your financial aid offer. In many cases, going through the verification process will not affect how much aid you receive. However, there's a chance your financial aid package could change. If that happens, contact the Financial Aid Office to talk about your options or what alternatives are available to you. Once you receive your official financial aid offer, we would ask that you do not make any additional changes to your financial aid application. We want to leave it as is after the verification process is completed. If you think that you need to make a change because something just happened in your family situation, please contact us first. We will inform you on how to proceed.
Thanks for watching this video. We hope you found it useful. If you need any additional support, please contact us. We don't want you to feel stuck during this process. We are available by phone, email, or with in-person or virtual assistance through our Highlander one-stop shop. We'll see you soon, Highlanders!